Alright guys, here's part 3. It looks like we're probably going to end up doing 4 parts. I'm trying to go through these as fast as I can. God, there's a lot of them. Alright, so try to burn through these a little bit faster. There's a lot of, there's going to be even more spots coming up. I know when I went through these earlier, I went through about 70-80% of these. And there's a lot of late game stuff, I think, that can be improved. Okay, so I don't really bother here, I guess. I know everyone's tight, but I personally don't do it. Not so much because he did that, but just because all of the other guys could have done it too. I just think it's kind of gross. Like when you open up here, you got the Lenny Call guy that can shove, the guy in the button can shove, and the guy in the small blind can shove. It's just like, it'd be really standard for him too. So I really don't like the open just because this is a really good kind of example of reshove stacks. You know, reshove stack, reshove stack, reshove stack. In a smaller, like in a set and go, 10 to 15 big blinds is going to be kind of a pretty standard reshove stack, maybe a little bit more. MTTs, you start getting reshove stacks right around 20 big blinds or so, and of course below. So let's let it go. Here, open, same thing, I like it. Open here. We were making it 435 before, so I really don't really change it. Just make it 435, make it 450 or something. You know, when you 3x here, someone's going to flat for another 400, and it's going to put 1400 in the pot, and then you're going to have to like see bet like 800, which is essentially going to, you know, it's damn near going to, it's 1/3 your stack, so it's going to basically commit you. I would definitely call off here minus that, so we're going to fold. No, I mean, these guys are obviously much wider. Like, Lenny Call is probably reshoving something along the lines of, like, oh, ace-9 plus king-queen, maybe king-jack suited plus, and, like, he might be shoving, like, 7s here, 7s or 8s, depending on what he thinks your opening range there is. But when the Nick guy goes, puts it in, it narrows his range significantly, so he's going to be on like 10s or jacks plus, maybe like ace queen plus. So we're definitely crushed by the second guy, for sure. So definitely fold here, in my opinion. Open here, 435, 535. I don't like how, I really don't like how you adjust your bet sizing. Like people don't pay as much attention to it as you would think. Like, I know that's probably just, I just, you know, said to keep everything the same to kind of blend it, but if you're mixing it up for that reason, I don't think people pay that close attention. I just like to keep it just kind of one bet size. It's just, I think it just makes things simpler. If you have Table Ninja, I would definitely set it up that way. If not, if you have auto hotkeys, I think I've never used it, but you can probably do the same thing. Just set it up till you have one bet size. It's also much easier when you're playing multiple tables. You know, it's automatically that bet size. But this is probably, I would probably make it like 475 or something, 450. You'd probably just min raise here too and get away with it. But I think just the moral of the story is just to, you know, keep it consistent. And another one, fold here. I know it's 200 more, and now you're getting 4-1. 6 deuce plays horribly. You're hardly connected. Yeah, you're suited, but kind of whoopie-doo sort of thing. So I just fold it. Definitely like the donk, I guess. Like, I like it much better than just kind of, you know, check folding or something. But I think a fold would be more plus EV. We'll fold here. I don't know if I really like. It's kind of gross. I like it much more with antes. I just, you know, the small blind, and you have been kind of active, so you want to kind of keep in mind your image. So I like it more, you know, obviously, you know, because you guys are tight, you know, antes and such, but just keep in mind your image, I guess, is all I can really say. Paired board, again, like I discussed, I think in video 1, you're going to have so much more fold equity on these things. Like, yeah, you're going to get like ace high floats and, you know, shit like that. You know, but I think he might donk with the small pair, you know, and if he doesn't, You might be able to barrel him off on the turn. But I mean, that's kind of getting ahead of ourselves anyway. Like, it's a paired board. Like, you just have so much fold equity on these. I would definitely bet this and root the king myself. You know, 600. Something else you got to keep in mind too, and maybe like the kind of the biggest thing is like you have no showdown value. So like the only way you're gonna win is by betting. So yeah, like you bet here, it's great, but like so much shit got there. Like spade draw got there, straight draw got there. Yeah, he's probably not calling you with like, you know, 9s or 8s or anything anymore, or you know, 7s, whatever. But so much stuff got there, like I don't know. It's just so much more likely, I think, that he's got some sort of hand than not. And I would just do it on the flop, also. But anyway. And let's see here. Okay, so I guess this was this was the bubble basically. I thought there was more late game stuff than that, but I guess not. Or I guess more bubble stuff than that, but it looks like you played the bubble pretty well for what it was. Okay, so I remember this one too. I was basically thinking in my head to fold here. The reason being is I just don't really think you beat much of a reshove range. Like, is he really reshoving like 5s here or 4s? You know, probably not. He just doesn't have enough in his range that you're beating that he's reshoving here. You don't beat like ace king, like you're flipping. You know, any sort of 2 overs, you're essentially flipping, and the only hands you beat are 2s through 5s. So with that in mind, also you're getting 1.2 to 1, so even if you are flipping, it's like almost like a break-even play. So I just fold here. Like, it's just something else. Yeah, that's basically just about covered it. So I just fold it. You know, again, I know he had 10s, but I was thinking fold before when I first saw it, for what it's worth. Okay, so here I just check it back. I know you raised it. I don't know. I don't really see the point in ISOing him. You know, he's probably got a small pair. He's probably going to call anyway. So you probably just donk it on the flop. You know, especially if a couple, you know, kind of paint cards come up. So like on a flop like this, like you can, you know, donk here, because a lot of times he's going to be set mining when they limp call, especially at the lower stages or lower stakes. And especially with ace high, you can go ahead and obviously bet here too, and you make it like 800. I don't really like checking it back. I don't know. I don't really know why. I guess like given like the range that I kind of put him on, like I mean he might have a draw like Jack 10 or Queen 10, although I think it's kind of less unlikely. So you're giving those type of hands a free card if that, you know, is in his range. Also, when you check back here, like, okay, so what are you kind of representing? Like a king, you know, or maybe, you know, you repopped it so you might have a pair. Not a whole hell of a lot changes. In fact, his range probably improves some, and yeah. So like a bet here is okay. I think I just bet the flop. Like he's just never gonna call a bet on later streets anyway. So like it's either you're gonna get value or you're not, I guess, sort of thing, or you're gonna get called or you're not. I don't know. I don't know if that makes sense if I'm explaining it well, but I just bet the flop. Like I just don't understand checking it back. And that's just kind of gross. There's only one more ace in the deck, and only really 2 boats. So I would just go ahead and jam here. I don't really like calling here. Like there's only one more ace in the deck. I mean, if he's got, you know, ace 9 or something, then it's just kind of gross. But I just want to get all my money in because you pretty much have the best hand. So I would just go ahead and get all my money in. Okay, so this is where some of the fun happens. Hopefully I can actually get through some of this before we gotta make another video. These are the spots where we're gonna start like getting into 3-betting a little bit more, and really putting some pressure on guys. I don't like this because of the guy in the big blind. The There's like 900. Like there's just so much dead money. Like, you know, he's only got to make this well, I mean, he's short for one, but he doesn't really have to win that often for it to be profitable with 50% of his stack in. So, and he's just so much more likely to reshove there, just fold. And this, I remember this. This is just kind of amazes me. Like King 10 offsuit, we fold, and then we're opening like 10-4 off, like into the short stack. Whereas like with King 10, like, you know, not quite a fist pump, but, you know, like I'm much happier when he reshoves on me, you know, and I have to call. So I go ahead and open here too, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. That's and open here is not horrible, but like fold's fine too, obviously. Like we're just trying to steal. This is the shove I was thinking about. Like 20 bigs, blind versus blind. And it's just a horrible. I just don't like that shove at all, because then he just shits himself when you call him. Of course, obviously that's him. It's not our problem, but that's just something you never want to do. I would have opened here if it wasn't for a shove. I probably open here. I'd probably make it like 700, 650, 700. Okay, so now that we're six-handed, I'm not sure how many pay in a 27. I used to play 18s, I used to play 45s, so I'm going to guess that 5 pay, because 4 pay in 18s and 7 pay in 45s. So that's going to be my guess. Same thing here. I like the open. No, you know what, I take that back. I think the open's fine. I like the open just fine. I'll take that all back. I think it's fine. I might make it a little less, but I might make it less, well, again, for the same reason that, you know, it's just cheaper overall. But if you make it a little less, there's a little bit less dead money in the pot for the big blind to reshove. So that's why I do it. Here, you can get kind of dirty and 3-bet them here and make it like 1450 or so. Because with sick bay being out and the small blind being short, there's a lot more pressure here. You know, of course, this all like really depends, you know, on stats and what you think, but this is just kind of food for thought. You could 3-bet here, put them in a really gross spot. I open here myself. With us being six-handed, I really want to start putting pressure on the bubble. Like, this is where I go broke in these games, is putting tons and tons and tons of pressure, you know, and building a stack. Because you build a stack, you know, and you put yourself in the top, you know, top 2 or 3 payouts. That's where your ROI is the biggest. That's where you're going to make all your money. So I'm getting really creative. I wouldn't shove here, but I would make it like 14-5. I don't like the flat. Here, I'm going to end the video. We're going to end up getting into part 4. I can't believe this is taking so long. Hopefully we get the last part. Okay, anyway, I'll be right back.